Hello everybody, this is Jonathan from Doing Number. Today I'm doing another how to use this card episode. So today we have the Solemn Brigade. I mean, I have two cards this time, but I decided to do both since they're both really similar. So you see Solemn Judgment and Solemn Warning. So this video is just going to be discussing one kind of situation in which Solemn Warning and Solemn Judgment can or cannot be activated. So the first, I'm going to do a situation first of all. So my opponent has Monster Reborn in hand, and I have Solemn Warning face down. My opponent activates Monster Reborn and then targets a Pulsar Dragon from their graveyard. I activate Solemn Warning on the summon of Pulsar Dragon from Monster Reborn. I can't do that. I can only negate the activation of Monster Reborn. So you may say, why not? Because your opponent is summoning a monster. What's the big deal that I have to negate the spell card and not the summon itself? Well, Solemn Warning and Solemn Judgment neither can activate, neither can negate the non-inherited effects. You're thinking, what's non-inherited effects? Well, these are effects that were activated by something else. And not by its own effect. So, like Pulsar, you can just banish a Dark and Light in your graveyard and special summon it from your hand. That's its own effect. You can negate that summon by itself. However, if something else summoned it, like Red Eye Serpent's Metal Dragon or Monster Reborn, you had to negate the card that activated the special summon in order to negate that certain situation. So, same thing with Call the Haunted. A lot of people always mess this up, but you can only, like, when your opponent activates fusion cards too, like Miracle Fusion, you have to negate the Miracle Fusion itself, not the monster it's summoning. So unfortunately, you're gonna go. It's gonna suck that your opponent still gets to keep their monsters from their graveyard because Miracle Fusion, banishing the monsters aren't a cost, and they also don't get the monster from the fusion, so they don't lose those fusion monsters. So negating the fusion, the Miracle Fusion, is the card you have to do, and unfortunately, it's not a good card. Well, it is a good card, but negating that kind of feels wrong. So, some other situations would be Future Fusion, things like that. You have to negate that card itself. If your opponent uses Future Fusion to special summon a monster from their deck by banishing, for instance, 2 aliases for some reason, and special summons the what was it? The Shining. You can't negate that summon, I believe. I mean, because it's special summoning from not Future. I meant to say Fusion Gate. That was the card I was thinking of. Well, Future Fusion actually is also the same situation. You have to negate the Future Fusion itself, and then when your opponent's monster is summoned from Future Fusion, you can't really negate that summon. Let me give you another situation. So my opponent has no cards in their field. I have Solemn Judgment face down, and it's been set for 3 turns. Let's just say that I attack my opponent directly, attacking with Alias, and I'm like, oh great, he has a Trigodia or Gores, whatever in his hand. So you know what? I'm gonna negate it. When he summons it. So my opponent special summons Gores from their hand right after I attack them directly, and I activate Solemn Judgment. My opponent says you can't do that, and I ask why, because it's not an inherited effect. Yes, you cannot activate Solemn Judgment on Gores because it's a non-inherited effect. It's kind of hard to explain. It's on the Wikia. I have it right here. It does describe that you can't activate Gores, so you can look it up later. I'll put both of these sites, the Solemn Warning and the Solemn Judgment, in the description below. Both of these Wikias, and they'll explain you much better than I am right now, but I'm just trying to help you guys out. So, the reason why Gores is not inherited, when I read the reason why you can't, because it's really hard to explain. He special summons from his hand, so the first thing that happens, like, his effect activates from the hand and then special summons, so it's non-inherited. However, you can activate Solemn Warning on Gores. So both these cards can negate situations while the other can't. It's hard to explain, but I hope I at least opened your eyes to learning some more about this stuff, because this is, Yu-Gi-Oh! Has become really complicated now, and things are just much harder to understand, so that's why I'm here to try to help you guys out, and I hope you guys learned something. So if there are any other cards you guys are confused about, I already have a list of things, but I want to help you guys out. So if you guys have any other cards that you're confused about, or any cards that you think are misplayed or misused on anywhere, please comment below, and I'll be glad to explain it in the next video. So I hope I helped you guys out, and I'll see you guys next time.